the Assisted Introspections Podcast with Shane Graham. You ever feel like you're circling the runway so goddamn long that you forget you're even supposed to take off? Yeah, that's kind of me right now. So the other day I was sitting there on my back porch. It was a Sunday. The birds were out there vibing. The breeze was cool, and again I'm talking to myself. Except now I have a microphone in front of me, and well, maybe you in my ear. So you see, I've actually been recording these little drive time thoughts, these back porch rambles, random journal dumps for a while now, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, dude, this is the content. This is the thing getting out of my head. And then, of course, came the paralysis, the overthinking, the endless mental gymnastics of how I'm actually supposed to start this project. Is it going to be podcast? Is it going to be YouTube? Maybe YouTube Shorts? Smoke signals in a pigeon carrier? I really don't know. So you might be asking yourself, what is this? Well, this is a project that I like to call Assisted Introspections. Basically, my mind, the thought faucet, anybody that knows me knows kind of what I'm talking about. The never-ending stream or flow of thoughts that are always generating up here in Shane's world. By the way, I'm Shane Graham, in case you were wondering. For those of you that do know me, you do know that I've got stories, and I've really got this need to make something real, something honest, and something that hits in that spot in your chest where the truth actually lives. So a while back, I was talking to a good buddy of mine, hadn't spoken to him in quite some time, and we were talking about Hulk Hogan, when Hulk Hogan passed, and how divided people were with that. And he really hit me hard with something when he said, you know what? I miss Hulk. I don't miss Terry. And really, that one stuck with me because it reminded me that we don't always know the people behind the performance. We just know what they gave us. And so here I am sitting on this Hulk Hogan story that's pretty much followed me my whole life. Yeah, that's another one of my stories. And it's wild and kind of ridiculous. It'll eventually be coming here soon on this podcast. But for now, that story represents something else. Momentum. You see, I've got this first episode of this podcast in my pocket. I've got the content, and I keep hesitating. I can't tell you how many times I've re-recorded this thing. And it's not because I don't care, but maybe it's because I care too much. It's like, if I actually start this thing, if I actually launch it, then I'm going to actually have to follow through. And that part right there, that part is terrifying. Because now I'm actually setting expectations, not just for anybody listening, but for myself. And, well, if I'm being 100% honest here, I'm not always the best at that. I've always been kind of a fly by the seat of my pants kind of guy. Oftentimes I learn by crashing into shit, sometimes gloriously, and sometimes face first into a brick wall, but either way, I tend to learn something. And well, here's something that feels different about this project. For once, I'm actually not out there buying new gear. I'm not convincing myself that I need the perfect setup to be legitimate. I mean, I've already got the tools. I've got the cables, the mics, the software. Heck, I even dug up my old ring light out of the graveyard of good intentions. So, again, why the hesitation? Maybe as long as I'm still figuring it out, I don't have to risk failing. But also, as long as I'm still figuring it out, I don't get to succeed either. See, I was watching this famous YouTuber the other day, and he's this badass YouTuber who tells stories with rawness and purpose. And even though his path is a lot different than mine, I still saw myself in them. Not necessarily in their past, but because of their why. They're out there moving people, not for clout, not for cash, but because they have something to say. And when I actually watched one of their live streams live, it was kind of like the universe gave me a little nudge and said, hey man, you can do this too, but in your own way. And, well, I guess that's what I'm kind of leaning into now. My way, yeah, definitely might be messy. It might be meandering. It might have a few and fucks along the tangent highways that don't always reconnect. But it's me. And well, that counts for something. So, what is this project going to be? Honestly, I really don't have all that mapped out yet. But what I can tell you is its thoughts, its stories, its voice, its presence, its assisted introspections. Basically, meaning it's me doing the soul work and getting the assistance of a little formatting from my digital sidekick. And I cool with that. I call it assisted intelligence because this thing actually helps me sound more like me. And well, if you're sitting here listening to this right now and this hits you, if one of these stories makes you laugh or it makes you think and it actually makes you feel less alone in your own creative quicksand, well then hey, that's the win. Because the truth is, I really don't want to be the best. I just want to be one of the best. And well, to do that, I got to start. So think about this. If you've been sitting on your own idea, that blog, that business, that song, that story, remember this. If you don't ask, you already know what the answer is going to be. Perfectionism, that's the parking brake on progress. And you know what? Start ugly if you have to. Because ugly done is better than perfect never. So, this is me starting. I'll see you next time. And don't forget, stay curious, stay honest, and stay in motion. This has been Assisted Introspections.